women, when they're being raised, they're told, here's how men should treat you. And boys are taught, here's how you should treat women. But you don't hear as much pressure on, here's how women should treat men. Here's how women should conduct themselves. I find that interesting.
But just because I do OnlyFans doesn't mean I'm treating a man wrong.
Does your father know that you do OnlyFans?
Yes.
And he's okay with it?
Yes.
He really? He has no quarrel with it.
He's supportive.
Is he a provider?
Yes.
He lives locally or?
Yes.
Do you live with him?
Right now,
Do you live at home?
I just moved back here.
Do you pay rent?
Yes.
Why the need to do sex work?
Right now?
Mm-hmm. You've got a roof over your head? Probably food, right?
Yes.
But, I mean, so he's totally cool with it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a provider, but I don't think any father should be okay with their daughter doing it.
When you're doing this, right, on OF, there's a live chat, right?
A live chat?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. My one challenge that I always try to give to a woman who's on OnlyFans who says her father's okay with it is to remove themselves from the video, right, and just say, hey, Dad, this is what my live chat is. Read my live chat, right? Only my live chat. You can't see me, right? During one of my streams. And then, hang on. Mm-hmm. I just would like to know if your dad read just the live chat, right? A live chat of you doing one of your streams, if he would be for you doing OnlyFans after that.
Well, my dad knows what OnlyFans is.
That's not my question. That's not my question.
Like, I'm pretty
if he read
sure he
one of the
knows
live chats
about what goes on in the chats.
If he read one of your live chats,
mm-hmm.
right, just the live chat, do you think that he would still be for it?
Yeah, because he already knows what it's about.
Okay.
My parents are
You do it under his roof? You
No.
make the content under his roof?
No.
Where do you go?
I have a studio. So.
Yeah. I want to ask you a quick follow-up question. So if there was, say I was a guy who was living in my parents' basement, didn't have a job, was broke, a bit overweight, a little bit of a pussy, like couldn't really protect, but I was sitting there saying that I deserve
talking
a
shit
woman.
about me, bro.
But I was there saying that I deserve a woman who is going to cook for me, clean for me, have my children, and do all these traditional feminine things, but I can't do any protecting or providing. Would that be a reasonable thing to expect?
No, but I'm not saying that there's nothing I can bring to the table.
I mean, I actually understand your argument. It's actually a pretty good one. So your argument here is just like, look, if I expect traditional treatment and a man's willing to give it to me, right? He's the one who's reaching out to me. He obviously clearly knows what it is that I do. That's on him. That seems reasonable to me.
Yes.
Yeah, that seems totally reasonable to me. I look at this from a different angle and get your guys' input on this. The angle I look at it as is, from my perspective, you just women who are on OnlyFans and moving into sex work just kind of whittle themselves out of the gene pool ultimately. And what I mean by this is just this. Your selection sample size is going to be less than other women, right? So even if you're really, really, really pretty, there's lots of really, really, really pretty women who don't do sex work. Mm-hmm. So if you were a traditional man, let's say you were very staunchly Christian, believed in Christian ethics, this type of thing, and then let's say you kind of absorb some of the more red pill ideas of want to have a nice body and I also want to have a lot of money and this type of thing, but I'm going to keep these kinds of like principled underpinnings to go with it. Seemingly, according to the data that I've looked at, women really like those types of men, right? Really, really like them. But if you were one of those types of men, why would they ever choose you? Well, if the available kind of pool that they can choose from is you minus the sex work, wouldn't they go for that? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So from kind of
judgment,
yeah. So kind of from my perspective, it's like it seems like you're setting your feet on fire to warm up your hands. right? It's like, it just seems so silly to me. I actually don't really understand it that
I just
well.
never want to rely on anyone to provide for me or take care of me. I want them to want to, but I also don't really care. I think that I can take care of myself, and
You know what?
I don't really care about a man who like provides for me, and I don't expect that. Or
You know, it's really funny because in the role of traditional, and when I think traditional, I think Christian foundation, Christian ethics. That's, for me, is what tradition means. If I got really sick, my dad got really sick. He had multiple sclerosis. My mom took care of him for 25 years.
Dang.
I would like to think that if I got really sick, my wife would take good care of me.
I hope so.
Right? I'd like to
I really
really
hope
think
so.
that she would, because she would, right?
Yeah.
She just would. So when this idea comes up of like, I don't need nobody, I wouldn't feel any shame by that.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I mean just money wise. Like if I need help, I would absolutely ask for help, but I just want to be able to provide for myself money wise in all situations, especially if my significant other were to
I
die.
totally understand. I'm not even
Yeah.
kind of beating you up on that. What I'm saying is that if the kind of like underlying idea here is I want man who has these qualities,
Yeah.
right? He's dependable, he's emotionally stable, he has a really good ethical foundation, and he works really hard on himself, right? And all of that is going to be kind of put to you. You get to have access to that, right?
Yeah.
But he also has a selection now, right? He has a selection, and he can choose from the multitudes of the beautiful women who are available. Why would he choose the one that did sex work?
Yeah, and I honestly, if that's not what he's into, then he absolutely shouldn't, and he shouldn't feel like he has to.